Hello, guten Tag and bonjour. This is Josephine and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you my take on a Mexican wrap. I'll be showing you 4 recipes in this video, including the filling, the beans, the guacamole and the salsa. I can't wait to get started. Let's go!
So here's how I make my Mexican wrap. Because there's 4 recipes in this video, I will put timestamps in the description. The first thing we're going to make is the fajita filling.
For the fajita filling, you're going to need spices. So I have paprika, cumin, cayenne pepper, dried coriander, and 3/4 of stock cube. You're going to need 3 cloves of garlic, some zucchini or courgette, an onion, as well as salt, pepper, mushrooms, tomato paste, balsamic glaze, 2 bell peppers. I prefer the red and orange kind, and then I use a little bit of barbecue sauce as well as soy sauce.
Of course, wash your veggies, and I'll say this only one time in this video. First of all, you're going to chop your veggies. I like to chop them into long strips, just because that's sort of the classical style that I see in most of the Mexican food I eat. So the same with the bell peppers. You just want to cut into long strips. You want all the vegetables to be quite even because you want them to cook at similar times. So as you can see with the mushrooms, it's a really easy job to just get those long strips, and the same with the courgette. You just want it to be similar. And then peeling and crushing my garlic so that everything is ready to go as we start to cook. So to begin the cooking process, what I like to do is heat up some olive oil in a pan and saute off the onions first, then add in my mushrooms and my courgette and saute that in with some seasoning, salt and pepper, and then I add in my bell pepper, followed by the garlic as well as some soy sauce, balsamic glaze, a squeeze of the barbecue sauce and the tomato paste. I mix those in thoroughly and continue to saute on a high heat before adding my spices, which I then rinse off with some water, and then I reduce the heat and let that cook while I prepare the rest. Then the salsa.
For the salsa, we're going to need a clove of garlic, a handful of spring onions, a handful of coriander, about 1/4 of a can to 1/2 a can of canned tomatoes, jalapenos, a red onion, lime juice of 1 whole lime, tomatoes, salt, pepper, and a little bit of agave.
I start by roughly chopping the veggies. As this will be going into a blender, this really doesn't have to be perfect at all. It just helps with the process when you pulse it. It's a really vibrant salsa, so I put everything in the blender, filling it up all the way to the top. I love this visual, I think it's so pretty. And then I add in just a splash of canned tomato as well. I think it helps with the flavour and the texture, as well as my seasoning, so the lime juice, agave syrup, as well as some jalapenos. You can always adjust later. And I pulse that until I've got the consistency I like. You can have a different consistency if you want, and adjust any seasoning. And there's your delicious salsa. Next, the beans.
For the beans, it's quite simple. You'll need a can of kidney beans, a splash of plant-based milk, the rest of your stock cube, salt and pepper.
Start by draining and rinsing the beans, and then add to a pot with the milk, salt, pepper and stock cube. And this is a really simple process. You just want to mix that all together, bring the beans to a rapid boil and keep stirring, and you'll see it will thicken into this lovely consistency, and you can squish some of the beans to get that sort of refried texture. And you're done. Onto the guacamole. For my guacamole, you're going to need 2 avocados, as well as tomatoes, the juice of a lime, a spring onion, some vinegar, and salt and pepper. I love avocados. So scoop those creamy babies out into a bowl. I just use a fork and scoop it out. And then you want to add your spring onions into that delicious thickness, as well as the lime juice, salt and pepper. And I like to add quite a bit of seasoning. Mash that all together. Once it's a nice consistency, you can stir in your tomatoes with a splash of vinegar and you'll have a lovely guac onto the bonus sides. I like to add some lettuce to my wraps, as well as some sour cream or vegan yogurt with a squeeze of lemon in. And I serve the whole dish quite simply on store-bought wraps. You can make your own. Now it's time to serve and assemble. Look at that feast. So I just like to layer on each piece and wrap it up and enjoy like the lady that I am. Good luck! I hope you enjoy this and let me know what you'd like next.